Now we'll start the next section, distributed deadlocks. Deadlocks can arise within a single server when a locking is used for concurrency control. Servers must either prevent or detect and resolve deadlocks. Using a timeouts to resolve possible deadlocks is a clumsy approach, as it is difficult to choose an appropriate timeout interval and transactions may be aborted unnecessarily. With a deadlock detection scheme, a transaction is aborted only when it is involved in a deadlock. Most deadlock detection schemes operate by finding a cycle in a transaction wait for a graph. In a distributed system involving a multiple servers being accessed by multiple transactions, a global wait for graph can in theory be constructed from a local ones. There can be a cycle in the global wait for a graph that is not in any single local one. That is, there can be a distributed dead. Recall that wait for a graph is a directed graph in which nodes represents transactions and objects and edge represent either an object held by a transaction or a transaction is waiting for an object. There is a deadlock if and only if there is a cycle in the wait for a graph. Figure shows interleaving of a transactions U, V and W involving the objects A and B managed by the server X and Y and the objects C and D managed by the server Z. The complete wait for a graph in a figure shows that deadlock cycle consists of alternate edges which represent a transaction waiting for an object and an object held by a transaction. As any transaction can be waiting for one object at a time, object can be left out of a wait for a graph as shown in the figure B. Detection of a distributed deadlock requires a cycle to be found in the global transaction wait for a graph that is distributed among the servers that were involved in the transactions. Local wait for a graphs can be built by local manager at each server. In the above example, the local wait for a graphs of the server are at server Y, transaction U dependent on V added when U request B withdrawal 30. At server Z, V dependent on W added when V request C withdrawal 20. At server X, V W dependent on U added when W request a withdrawal 20. A global wait for a graph is held in many parts by each of the servers involved. A communication between these servers is required to find a cycle in the graph. A simple solution is to use centralized deadlock detection, in which one server takes the role of a global deadlock detector. From time to time, each server sends a latest copy of its local wait for a graph to the global deadlock detector, which takes this information in the local graphs and in order to construct a global wait for a graph. The global deadlock detector checks for a cycle in the global wait for a graph. When it finds a cycle, it makes a decision on how to resolve the deadlocks and tells the server to abort the transaction. Centralized deadlock detection is not a good idea because it depends on a single server to carry it out. It suffers from the usual problems associated with centralized solutions in a distributed systems, that are poor availability, lack of fault tolerance, and no ability to scale. In addition, the cost of a frequent transmission of a local wait for a graph is high. If the global graph is collected less frequently, deadlock may take longer to be detected. Now we'll discuss about phantom deadlocks. A deadlock that is detected but is not really a deadlock is called a phantom deadlock. In a distributed deadlock detection, information about wait for a relationship between the transaction is transmitted from one server to the another. If there is a deadlock, the necessary information will eventually be collected in one place and a cycle will be detected. As this procedure will take some time, there is a chance that one of the transactions that holds a lock will meanwhile have released it. in which case deadlock will no longer exist. Consider the case of a global deadlock detector that receives a local wait for a graphs from server X and Y as shown in the figure. Suppose that transaction U then releases an object at a server X and requests the one held by V at a server Y. Suppose also that the global detector receives a server Y's local graph before server X. In this case, it would detect a cycle T dependent on U, U dependent on V, V dependent on T, although the edge T dependent on U no longer exists. This is an example of phantom deadlock. We observe that if transactions are using two-phase locks, they cannot release the objects and then obtain more objects, and phantom deadlock cycles cannot occur in a suggested way that is shown in the previous slide. Consider the situation in which we have a cycle T dependent on U, U dependent on V, V dependent on T is detected. Either this represents a deadlock or each of the transaction T, U, V must eventually commit. It is actually impossible for any of them to commit because each of them is waiting for an object that will never be released. A phantom deadlock could be detected if waiting transaction in a deadlock cycle aborts during the deadlock detection procedure. For example, if there is a cycle T waiting for U, U waiting for V, V waiting for T, and U aborts after information concerning a U has been collected, then the cycle has been broken already and there is no deadlock.